There's gods that do things.
Yeah, this one does something.
He does not for you.
Yes, it does. Look
what
at
do you
it.
have power 2 or less that matters?
Katara.
Okay.
Zuko.
He's not going to stay. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't gain power.
That's true. Okay.
Wait, doesn't Hazard make the little guy unblockable?
Yeah.
You're trying to attack with a big guy.
No. Only little guys.
No.
Makes Ragnar unblockable.
You have gods in your deck that are very big.
Yeah, Kratos is going to make things bigger, sure.
Kratos himself is big.
Yeah. So, but Atreus is
but you're not attacking with him.
Kratos is 2. Welcome to the MoxStars podcast. I am Menace, one of your hosts, and I'm here with Rampage.
You are here with Rampage, and you're here with one other person. Would you please introduce our newest host?
We have, coming to the show for the very first time, the newest MoxStar, Annihilator!
What's up, guys?
Nice. All right, welcome to the show, everyone. You know what it is. It's the MoxStars podcast, the #1 podcast on the internet for Magic the Gathering and Dr. Pepper and Kratos and Atreus lists. So if you've been waiting for our tech on this deck, well, your wait is over because we're doing it today. You can find us on YouTube where you can like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more notifications and drop a comment on the channel like at AAA Polls, who said, I've been listening to you exclusively on Spotify, and I was so surprised to hear you were approaching 600 subs on YouTube. This is 100K content. Oh. Thank you so much. Yeah, we really do appreciate that. We do believe that what we're creating is awesome stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't keep doing it, you know? So, thank you, AAA Polls. You're awesome.
It's a AAA comment.
Yes. Hey. You can also find us on all podcasting platforms where you can leave us a 5-star review to make us look super duper cool. You can also support us on Patreon by becoming an official Pepperhead for $3 a month. You can have your name turned Dr. Pepper Red on the Discord server. Join the Discord server and hop in there, drop a deck list. Our Patreon supporters, who are so awesome, have supported us for God knows how long. We have Gabe, McOyan, Definitely Jeremy, Mono Greg, Reven Lift, UWP Court, Will Rule, Poolboy Barry, Maybe Anthony, Ryan G, and Adam. So thank you all for your support. Let's jump in. This week on the MoxStars podcast, we are circling back to the elephant in the room, the newest MoxStar, Annihilator. Annihilator, and I actually kind of like saying it because it's like
when
I say
you wanted this name.
Right.
I suggest there were other suggestions. We're going with Annihilator.
Yeah, and Living Weapon was one of them.
Living Weapon's sick.
Yeah,
it is sick, but I don't think I identify as a living weapon.
Right, you are an Annihilator.
Yeah,
there are very few games that I've seen you have presence at where you weren't like that guy. You know, you weren't imposing your will on others. So this is
fair.
Yes, this is, I think, a great opportunity to get an introduction from you to figure out, for our listeners to understand who you are as a deck builder, as a Magic player. So I'm gonna cast the spotlight over here. What's up, dude?
What's up? Yeah, I'm Annihilator. I guess I've been playing Magic the Gathering since I was about 8-9 years old. I think recently, after I've kind of gone through phases with the game, and as a deck builder, I used to be more of a standard player. I think around like 2013 to 2016, I played a lot of standard. I think 2013 was the best year for Magic. That's, I think, the take that I think would describe my play style and card interest the best.
We're definitely going to circle back on that.
But that block, I think, inspires a lot of what I find the most interesting and the most fun as a player. And I still kind of hold to that today. Today, I'd say my favorite deck is the Glarb deck, which I got to work on with the master over here. And that deck, that play style of a very, very adaptable, grindy mid-range deck is really the specific play style I think I find myself most comfortable in. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of strong opinions on Magic and cards, and I've been playing a long time. And recently I've been more into Commander, which is new for me. I think I took a long break from Commander, and now the competitive scene is so cooked that it's more interesting to play Commander.
Yeah, Wizards of the Coast has done enough to the constructed formats that Commander seems to be
a safe haven. Yeah,
it's a safe haven. It's a fun playground.
Yeah.
I think
they're going to keep giving us weapons of mass destruction. So.
Yes, Badgermole Cubs galore.
That's that Glarb list, is that a cEDH deck you have built?
So I think, circling back to the pub stomp allegations that were very, very politely levied against me in my intro by my friend over here. I think it was initially designed to just be a very efficient list. And one of the theses that I have on mid-range deck building is that every card in your deck, pound for pound, should be better than the cards in your opponent's deck. When I draw a card, even if it is a land, it should have an impact on the game. And we kind of followed that through to it's problematic now.
Yeah, so we built the deck in tandem.
It's not cEDH. It's not cEDH. It can hang with the big dog.
Now, if we're talking about one of our supporters, Gabe, has given us this tool. It's the power calculator, right? It's this platformer, this tool that someone created that attributes a certain effectiveness to every single card. Yeah, like an efficiency calculator. And it's out of 1,000, so your decks can score 1,000. Some break it, some go over 1,000. I think the highest we saw was 1,200 or whatever. But this deck we designed it to be a 3. There are only 3 game changers in it.
That's true.
And there are combos that are assembled later in the game because as Glarb, you're sort of looking to tap, generate value, look, card filter, get more information, all those things. It plays out of the grave a little bit, but it has a Gitrog, Psychic Frog. The whole thing is frog tribal in a way, right? So Gitrog, Psychic Frog, Dakmar Salvage are in the deck, and then there's a couple Eldrazi Titans, so you don't, the loop is there.
And the
right?
Titans are respectable. They're not there to be cast. They're strictly there to shuffle in. I mean, sometimes you cast them if you just don't have anything else. But that's literally the only time I've cast them.
That's the opposite of respectable. They're not.
It does feel. I feel okay. Again, I feel like the respect level there, it does fade when you've got one card in hand and you're like, I guess I got nothing else to do. Here's Kozilek. It does feel a little rude, but it does tend to be what happens if they're in your hand.
Yeah, I think they're more respectable when you hard cast them. That's when that's what they're designed for.
If I cast them, they're hard cast.
Yeah, and the deck. If you guys have been paying attention to the show, if you've been listening for a long time, we kind of went over a couple of these lists. We went over the Glarb list, the Helga list. And now we went over the Shiko list. These are all decks that, I was working here with Annihilator on. And they're all really fun, effective lists. They're all really well curved out. The thing is that oftentimes when you sit at a table and you play with them, they're designed as 3s, but they behave very differently than that. They oftentimes have a tough time. They're very resilient. So while the
word intention brought up to us several times.
Yes. Yeah. The intention is to win, and within the bracket rules. So the decks are designed to function at the highest level of that particular bracket. So like Chico, on the other hand, develops way later, but it is impossible to disassemble. Once it is assembled, it is inevitable. It might as well be Thanos. And then Glarb, same thing. If you let it go too long, it just does too much. So, yeah, I would say those do fit your playstyle pretty well. The Helga one is the most explosive. That one is a problem.
Yeah, Helga feels almost out of character for me the more I play it. I kept a 0 lander with it 2 months ago and had a turn 2 Hullbreaker Horror on an opponent's turn that I was able to copy twice on my following turn. And that, I mean, you just scoop to that.
Well, we talked, in the past, like Rampage, you and I have talked about like the expectations for brackets, and like sometimes you do get the nuts. Yeah. Sometimes you do. Yeah. Sometimes the game just ends earlier than the brackets would intend or would imply, or the expectation is not met. But the deck is designed not to explode out of nowhere by turn 3 every single time. Like, I'll put the lists in the description below so that you, dear listener, can be the judge and leave us a comment of whether or not these decks are actually bracket 3 or if you consider them bracket 4. But yeah, that's...
If they're bracket 4, that means I get to add more game changers.
I guess.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, oh, well, if you don't think it's a 3, I have some cards to add.
It could be way nastier.
Yeah. Could always be.
Okay, Annihilator. You gave us a little background on your experience with Magic the Gathering. Sounds like you haven't really had a hiatus. You've been grinding, making your way over to Commander once more. What is your experience or background with Dr. Pepper?
I think it's grown on me as I've matured in life. I think like it's a fine taste that requires dedication and understanding to build. And so, when I was younger, I was a disgraceful Dr. Coke. I just said Dr. Coke, Diet Coke enjoyer. And then, Diet Coke was ubiquitous. It was around me all the time. And then I just kind of never really gave Dr. Pepper the chance. And then recently I've been put onto some Dr. Pepper flavors that have just blown my mind.
Here's the thing. I forgot to go over that in the application process.
Yeah.
I didn't. It skipped my mind. I was like, this guy plays Magic. Good enough.
Yeah.
Right? No,
no, but seriously, recently it's grown on me a lot.
Yeah.
I'm around a few certified pepper heads like this guy. And because of that, I've been taking some sips, and these sips have grown to cans, and these cans have grown to 12 packs. And now the fridge is stocked. So,
you can be redeemed. The process for conversion, it can take an amount of time, 23 days. But for each flavor, you need to adapt and adjust to. So I get it. Yeah. I did forget to go over that in the application process. I'll make sure in the future when we're bringing new people on the show that we thoroughly vet them for their Dr. Pepper love. Yeah.
Background checks.
Now, if you out there are a Dr. Pepper lover, like we are here at the MoxStars podcast, you may want to join a larger community, which we have a Discord server for. So go ahead, link in the description below. You can find that. But there, you would hope that the producer, the source of Dr. Pepper, which when I said that, the Slurm Queen came into my mind from Futurama. So nothing like sucking on a can of Dr. Pepper, if I'm right.
Slurm.
Yeah. But Dr. Pepper on their website offers an exclusive club called the Pepper Pack. And this page here, if you're on screen with us, you can see it says, welcome to the official Pepper Pack home. Only the most devoted, most passionate, most 23 flavor loving Dr. Pepper fans are encouraged to enter beyond this point. I think we qualify. Yeah?
You do.
We better. We should.
You guys definitely do. I think I could go a little...
Your journey.
Yeah.
Your journey. You're on your way, but
I aspire to be part of the Pepper Pack. I'm not yet a Pepper Packer.
Yes, and Rampage is wearing literally the coolest shirt of all time.
He's part of the Pepper Pack.
Yes. Well, I don't know if he is, because if you go to this webpage and it says already a member, ? You can log in here. There's a login button, right? But then it says, do you want to join the Pepper Pack? Patience, Pepper. Applications will be open soon. So
is there a wait list?
We don't know. This is why we're talking about it today, because we're wondering, how do you join the Pepper Pack? Like someone out there, some dear listener out there has the connections, or has the connection to the connection to the connection to get us this information. So out there, dear listener, we need some resources. We need to figure out how to join the Pepper Pack. It just seems like a dead end. I noticed this almost a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years. And then Rampage, you brought it up last week. It was like, oh, they have this Pepper Pack thing and you can't even join. It's just kind of...
Yeah, and then you're like, yeah, it was that way 2 years ago. Nothing's changed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I found a thread online.
Okay.
Let me in.
This guy's one of the original 23 members of the Pepper Pack.
Excuse me.
He says he applied and 6 months later got accepted. He is a top 1% contributor to the Dr. Pepper wiki and the r/Dr. Pepper subreddit. This guy has a few Ask Me Anything threads where he's answering questions. He's fielding questions from the public about how to get into the Pepper Pack. He spills some beans on what's included in the Pepper Pack, but he says it took 6 months of reviewing his application 7 years ago to join the Pepper Pack. This is from 7 years ago. This guy's been in the Pepper Pack he's legacy.
What?
It says, I received a notice 6 months after my application that I was accepted. And this post is from 7 years ago.
Wow.
So still active.
So I think this is sort of like the Green Bay Packers season ticket holders thing, right? You put your name on the list, you might get a call in your lifetime. Like the list is incredibly long. So you got to hope someone in front of you dies. And we on here in the MoxStars podcast, we don't hope that others in the Pepper Pack we don't hope that they die, because they are fellow brethren. Like, we feel some level of camaraderie towards them, but please die.
No, okay, I'm just kidding. Listen, I'm not qualified to be in the Pepper Pack, so I'm not going to wish death upon anyone in the Pepper Pack. But I will say, it does say here, what you can do if you have a Dr. Pepper account, a general Pepper Perks loyalty program account, which you should have, that will get you into an email service, which will let you know when applications are available, which are open only periodically. So you got to monitor this page, I guess, and check back every day until it's, there's an application open, and then you fill it out, and then you wait for 6 months
or more.
One guy waited 4 years.
Yeah, they're probably.
They said that they were waiting for him to show more enthusiasm.
Okay. So enthusiasm is a qualifier.
It says that in the application.
Oh, baby. Well, we've gotten
you're for sure you would pass.
Yeah. We've gotten two trips to MagicCon Las Vegas based off of enthusiasm alone. Like, they said that when I went last time, they were like, you guys, your enthusiasm off the charts. So that's why you're here. So yeah, I think we got it. We got it by the 23 pepper or flavors.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the investigation is ongoing. We will return with our updates.
Bookmark this. Come back to this page every day.
You don't think it's already bookmarked?
I'm checking your screen, buddy.
Yeah. Well, it is. Okay. So it's just it's on my phone.
Listen. I'm just calling balls and strikes. I'm not.
Yeah, I wish you weren't. I wish you weren't in the same room as me anymore.
I'm not in the Pepper Pack. Just keeping you honest.
All right. Well, that being said, if you are in the Pepper Pack and you are a listener, give us the inside track, man. Let us in. We just want to. We're like the dudes from Night at the Roxbury. We're trying to get in the club.
Yeah. Well, it's a big club and you ain't in it.
Small club. Pretty small.
That's 7 years. I feel like that's crazy. It's
a long
been
time.
Around. I can't believe it's been around.
Yeah, I wonder if you get free perks, free Dr. Pepper merch.
They said that they get the rollout promotions, new flavors, and merch. That's what it says it does.
Worth.
100% worth.
Yeah.
You know what else is 100% worth? Secret lairs. Sometimes. Not all the time. Sometimes. Okay. Now, there was a secret lair that came out this past, 3 months or so, called the PlayStation Super Drop. Okay.
Yeah.
And I love PlayStation. I am a PlayStation faithful. And the God of War sets were the ones that I was looking forward to the most. Obviously, the mono red God of War with Kratos is an incredibly expensive card now. People love it. They're building around it. It's incredibly popular. Well, I went with the less popular God of War Norse version, which, by the way, are better games. Like, I'll say it right here and now. The Norse, the 2018 and then the 2021, 2022 versions of God of War were far superior to the Greek mythology ones. There we go. Said it.
I have no opinions on this.
Okay, heard. All right, we're moving on. Well, I wanted to build the deck. I bought the Secret Lair, so I wanted to build the deck, and so I have. You can find God's plan in the description below. Not affiliated with Drake. Nope. Okay. Well, to build this deck, I went ahead, used my wealth of knowledge in deck building and Jeskai gods to put it together, but I needed a little bit of help. I didn't know everything. I didn't know everything about God of the Jeskai gods package. So I went to EDH Rec and I looked it up and I was like, "What are you guys doing with this?" And I found out that they're all. I hate them. I hate EDH Rec, man.
the standard World at War and aggravated assault ender. Bleh.
Yeah, is all very stale design, and they're like, you should put Othari, Sun's Glory in your deck. It's a Phoenix that is 5 mana, flying lifelink haste. It's not a god, but it gives you experience counters.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what matters in the deck. If you guys are unfamiliar with Kratos and Atreus, Kratos, Stoic Father, is 2, a red and a white for a god warrior. Whenever you attack with one or more gods, whenever a god dies, you get an experience counter. At the beginning of your end step, put a number of +1/+1 counters on target creature equal to the number of experience counters you have. As partner, father, and son. I can't wait for them to print another father and son, and then you just mix and match. It's like, Kratos.
You're my son now.
Yeah.
I've been adopted.
Yes.
By the God of War.
I feel like this is a very open-ended partner thing. Now and then
I call this guy 2 dads.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like my other dad.
Yeah, right. Mix and match. Hey. And we have Atreus, Impulsive Sun, 1, a blue, and a red. God Archer is a 2/4 with reach that says pay 3 mana, tap, draw a card for each experience counter you have, then discard a card. Atreus deals 2 damage to each opponent. Partner, father, and son. So here's the deal, is that everyone's trying to, at least from what I could tell from other lists, is that everyone's trying to magnify and boost the effect of Atreus. Now, Atreus doesn't have any evasion, neither does Kratos. Doesn't have any evasion, doesn't have any keywords, doesn't have ward, hexproof, nothing. Right? But it is your card advantage engine, and any opponent with any lick of intelligence could tell from a mile away that you are trying to draw a ton of cards with Atreus. So why not keep it off the battlefield? Kratos' whole ability revolves around gods attacking or dying. So Kratos is like, has a life insurance plan out.
Go ahead and
go ahead
and kill my son. See what I do about it. Okay, I'll just make another, and then you'll kill him too, and I'll be happy about that too.
There is a built-in plan for Atreus dying, and I do not plan to invest my time or resources into the boy. Like, I will get experience counters. Trust me, it will happen. How many times am I going to be able to activate Atreus in a game?
Hopefully once.
Hopefully one time. That is my hope. But I still have to win the game in other ways.
Yep.
So when I put the deck together, I went through and as you can see here on screen, had trouble. Had some trouble putting it together. Jeskai doesn't really generate a ton of mana. There aren't a lot of dorks. There isn't a lot of card advantage on the lower end of the spectrum, like of mana, and you're just like you're sort of fumbling through the 1 through 3s.
Yeah.
And then you get up to the 4 and above as far as mana value goes for creatures, and things start to get really, really good.
Yeah.
Card advantage starts to turn up. Like your removal starts to like become online. Your repeatable effects are more effective, I guess, more prevalent here. So starting off with battles, I put in Invasion of Theros, which almost seems like an auto-include since you get to search your library for an aura, god, or demigod card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. And it flips. It has 4, what is it, battle counters? Health battle points?
Super mega points. Yep.
Super mega points. Yep. Okay.
Defense.
Has defense counters.
Defense?
That's right. Yep. 4 defense counters,
I
right?
hate that I knew that.
Yeah. And then it flips into Ephara Ever Sheltering, which is a god.
It's a good one.
Has Ephara Ever Sheltering, has lifelink and indestructible as long as you control at least 3 other enchantments. Hey, guess what? We're gonna control that many. Whenever another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This is a good card. Why no one's playing it for 46 cents? I don't understand. It's a really good card if you're in white, in enchantments, anything like that. Or it's white and blue. So you have to be Azorius. We have Teferi Time Raveler because I actually plan to flip Ephara. Like if I see it, I want to flip it, right? I want that ability. So I have Teferi here to sort of use to bounce enchantments back to my hand, draw a card, play them again, draw another card. And then also it's just a really great stacks piece. It combos with Displacer Kitten, which I'm not playing the combo with Lotus Petal, but it's just like I think a Displacer Kitten is good enough to keep flickering gods so that you can keep getting additional effects. As you go on in the creatures, you see the early mana values. You're in gods. You're in gods tribal in Jeskai. So why would you not have Heliod Suncrowned and Walking Ballista? This seems like this is where I want to proc you guys. Does this turn the deck into not a 3?
Just Ballista being there?
Ballista and Heliod being together.
Well, I believe if we're going to go off the specific ruling, technically a 3. I've had to become quite versed in this.
Yeah, because you need to
my 3s not being
your
3.
pub stomping needs to be justified.
Right. Well, you don't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And the other 3 players are the eggs, right? So, but the first thing I'll say is that it's early game combos is the thing, right? Like intentionally in a 3, you're not supposed to be rushing into, oops, I won because I have 2 cards out right now that are, combination 3 mana, which these are. But I think to assemble these, if you don't have Enlightened Tutor, if you don't have any sort of creature tutor, it's 2 cards out of 100 that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And you need to have at least 2 counters on Ballista, right? So that's 4 mana to cast. And then you have Heliod. You need to give it lifelink, which is another 2 mana.
It's at least 6 mana to get it going. To
one turn. Yeah. If you
to
play
activate the combo.
Ballista and give it lifelink in the same turn. Mm-hmm. So, I don't see that as a particularly early game combo. And winning on turn 6, completely within the design ethos of a 3. So I give this the pass. I'm apparently, more laissez-faire on what is a 3, but I'll say that this is not an early game combo. And I don't hate losing this combo either because you can see it coming from a million miles away. It's like the most common, I don't know.
A Heliod. It's the most common Heliod combo. Yeah. And you're in gods, so you sort of have to expect it somewhat.
You also need to have a button. You need to have a button. Nuclear warfare doesn't work if somebody doesn't have nukes. And you need to have somebody in every corner of the table who has a button in their deck. Because if you don't, you end up actually having the worst time. Because you don't have something that you're searching for. You need to be able to end the game. This is a very surefire way to end the game. At a top end, what this deck does is draw cards.
Yep.
And so, what are you doing drawing cards? You're looking for a card. This is what you're looking for. I think this is fine. I think it's a respectable way to end.
Cue me scrolling through this list as fast as possible, looking for an enlightened tutor that wasn't in here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, that would have been. I think that would have made it worse for sure. I think that changes the game.
The only way to tutor for one of these pieces is actually Invasion of Theros. Yeah. There's no other creature tutor or tutor for anything outside of that.
If my opponent casts Invasion of Theros and shows me Heliod, I'm going to assume they have Ballista in hand because that's
but then
you should play.
It would be so late in the game.
Yeah, prepare for the worst.
Yeah, Rampage. I kind of fall in the same realm there. It's
I don't know where you picked up this Annihilator guy, but hearing that game's got to end. Big fan. Slam that in there. This is perfect 3 territory. Yes, there's would be questions on whether this falls into 3 territory, whether that's correct or not. I think the description of 3 is often lost, and this is well within that realm.
Yeah, to follow up on where I found him, he was in a scooter with a broken leg. That's how I found him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got annihilated. I did get annihilated.
Yeah, that's where the name comes from.
Oh, God, I forgot.
Annihilator. I barely know her.
Yeah.
Right back.
There you go. All
right. Now that we're past the 1/0 mana creature, we can now finally move on to the 1 mana creatures. Esper Sentinel.
It's no introduction.
Super good. Yep. But this is the conversation we had last week about staples. If you missed that, check out last week's episode. You do need card draw, and I think this is just fine, especially when Kratos can pump it to be even better than it normally is. I think it kind of fits within what we're trying to do. Guide of Souls. I really like this card. I'm not playing any broken. I'm not playing with Ocelot Pride in tandem, which I really like those 2 in combination. But this gains a life. It's a soul, it's a soul sister. It enters, gains you a life. It triggers Heliod. And so you get to put, and you gain an energy. So you get a +1/+1 counter if you're in tandem with Heliod. But then whenever you attack, you may pay 3 energy. When you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters and a flying counter on target attacking creature. It becomes an angel in addition to its other types. I think you need to have a way to get Kratos through. And there aren't a lot of ways. There are a few equipment, sure, but Kratos should have trample. If I'm being honest, Kratos should have some form of
for flavor at the very least. The god of war should have some sort of trample or menace or first strike or
keyword ability. Yep.
Something. Rampage. I don't know. Something.
Yeah.
But
Rampage would be a good one.
It'd be fun. It'd be cute.
Yeah.
It's Guide is a card. It's a great card. I miss the days of Soul Sisters. This card is so pushed. It does so much. I typically see this card left alone on the table at Commander pods. I think when people drop it, because Soul Sisters are just such a common.
Life doesn't matter so much.
Yeah,
people don't really care about it.
It's one life. It's one life. It's one life. I used to play Darien until it became just a commander that every card felt printed for. When Darien was harder to make work because it's a 6 mana white commander that is boltable. Having the Soul Sisters out first was kind of the trick. And once this got printed and some other things that are along these lines where it's 1 mana, you get that and you get your cake and you get to eat it too. I don't particularly enjoy this card design, but I think Kratos is really cool because he's more of my favorite card design where it's in a vacuum, he doesn't do anything. He's not great.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to build the deck, actually, is because these guys they communicate. Yes, they sort of communicate with one another like Atreus and Kratos, but they don't break anything.
You got to make it work.
Yeah.
You have to build around. I think so commonly now, I think if you wanted a through line with cards that aren't fun, it's the Guide of Souls type where they have the top line of text says a thing and the bottom line of text says, well, and this is what that thing gets.
And here's the upside. Yeah.
Typically, back until Magic started really blowing up, they never did that. It was always separate. They'd give you one piece of the puzzle, and then they give you the other piece in the set, but it'd be a different card. And now it's every card. It's like, I'm going to trigger myself.
Badger woke up.
Yeah.
Now we have moving on. We have Ragavan. This is just you need dorks in these decks, and so Ragavan helps you get a little bit more card advantage, a little bit more mana, and Ragavan's favorite partner in crime, Hazoret Godseeker. Now this card.
I wish I had a boo button.
It's a god.
Technically,
it's 1 in red. We had some pre-show conversations about this because if you cannot see on the screen, which I think it cuts off just before you can, this deck is actually at 101 cards. We're looking for one card to cut. And I feel like this opens up the floor for discussion for Hazoret Godseeker because apparently this card sucks.
You are looking for one card to cut.
No,
I found it. Annihilator found it.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny that you're saying this as if it's like a surprise to you, but you also were the first to identify that this is the card that you would.
It's a god.
It was almost unremarkable in limited at times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's quickly talk about Wizards of the Coast design ethos. The start your engines mechanic. And
there's an ethos behind that?
Yeah, there has to be, because they also did it with like you tempted by the ring, or
the ring.
These like only designed for limited mechanics that go on to do nothing in like larger formats. Like start your engines. I mean, yes. Okay. Tempted by the ring.
So many people with Frodo. You.
Tempted by the ring is a little bit different. Maybe a bad example, but like we're talking about like every set has this like little thing.
They're
like,
now doing side games.
Yes.
They're doing side.
Every set's got a different side game.
Started with the dungeons, was like the real. We're gonna go in on this. There used to be some things, and then it was like we're gonna make new card types every set, and it became rooms and dungeons, and then at pre-release events they were doing bounties, and then for draft series, which I go to a lot, they started doing rites of flourishing and spring and stuff. Just play the game, man.
Yeah, so this card presents you with an alternate little mini game to track, and not only that, but it requires you 4 turns to potentially activate Hazoret so that Hazoret can attack or block. So for 2 mana, you put yourself a god on the battlefield. It's a 5/3 indestructible haste that says you can pay 1, tap it, target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked this turn. The number of creatures that this can hit. There's Ragavan. There's Atreus.
You're not attacking with him.
No, you never are. Nope. So
you got a guaranteed like Knuckles gets through.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll justify this. No, we'll keep pushing.
Okay, well, as the deck goes on, we might figure out some things that go into it that make the deck function and thrive.
I see the ceiling for this, and I understand. I understand that like the best play here is a turn 1 guide or rag, or even like a turn 1 nothing, turn 2 ramp piece, turn 3 this and a guy, and then give it, the thing is, it doesn't give anything haste, so you have to have the other thing out first, and then drop this, and then put the unblockable thing on it. It's just
I'm trying to make it 3.
Yeah, except there's just a better card, which I suggested for this deck.
I can't remember what it was. I guess Hazoret's it.
It's in the list. That's why there's 100.
I was so ready for you to be like, so I see the ceiling with this card, and I duck.
Yeah. It's under my feet right now.
Yeah, you're Victor Wembanyama in a normal person size house. You're hitting you're Gandalf in Bilbo's. Yeah, hits his head on the ceiling.
On the mic.
Yeah. Okay. Hazoret, potential cut. Probably not. It's a god. We'll see.
Why is this $21 for the?
It's the gold foil, dude.
The PP
foil.
The PP foil. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mythic.
Dude, it's the R. Kelly foil.
Yeah, the mythic R. Kelly foil.
The R. Kelly border.
All right, moving on. We do have some Avatar stuff that came in recently that actually boost this deck quite a bit. I think they're really interesting because they talk about experience counters. Now, the Phoenix thing before, super lame. These, not lame, because Katara, Waterbending Master, Zuko, Firebending Master, and then you have Aang, Airbending Master. Katara is whenever you cast a spell during an opponent's turn, you get an experience counter. Now, you don't get to do that all that often in this deck, since Flash isn't really like a huge part of the strategy. It's becoming more and more part of it because we put Heliod the Radiant Dawn in the deck. But Zuko has Firebending X, where X is the number of experience counters you have, which can be huge, right? It can get huge if it's played later in the game. Whenever you cast a spell during combat, you get an experience counter. So again, not a lot of instant speed stuff, but it does proc and benefit from what Kratos is doing and a few other things are doing. And that firebending mana can be used to activate Atreus. This is if like Christmas Land, everything goes well. So I don't think these cards are like broken by any means. They do offer some really fun experience counter stuff. And then Aang is probably the best of the three in regards to this deck. But for 4 and a white, when Aang enters, airbend another target creature. It can be your own or somebody else's. Whenever one or more creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, you get an experience counter. Awesome. Displacer Kitten is already in the deck. I have Thassa, Deep Dwelling, in the deck. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white ally creature token for each experience counter you have. Goes wide. It's kind of rad. You know, it's probably the most powerful of the three. Katara can get even better because Katara says when Katara attacks, you may draw a card for each experience counter you have. If you do, discard a card. It does the same thing as Atreus, which is why I really wanted it in the deck, because it's your secondary, you know, like you need some redundancy in this, and this sort of does it. Plus, Kratos can stack it with counters. And
it works with Hazoret.
Katara is the daughter that Kratos actually wanted, and then Atreus just existed. So that's just the way it is. Any thoughts on the...
I think Katara is better than the commander.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Katara is great.
Why doesn't father and son written on this card?
I mean, I'll be honest. I'd abandon my son for Katara.
Yeah, if it did the same thing, provided the colors to the deck that you needed, use the experience counter, drew you cards, I agree.
Oh, like that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Katara is great. But you have to draw a ton of cards from it and then discard a card. I think that it's card advantage. It's everything that you want.
Yeah, and it's early. You talked about the curve struggle in Jeskai, which is very real, coming from playing this Shiko deck a lot recently.
Yeah.
I think having a really strong 2-drop, because this to me presents something like Rag, where it's like if I play this on curve and you do not respond to it, I'm going to drown you in value. So it's a removal check. Get stuff out of your opponent's hand at worst. At best, you're getting early game card advantage, which will actually let this deck work.
Timeout. It's also a 1/3, so Hazoret can protect it.
I did mention that when you were talking about that. I said that it worked with Hazoret, but I kind of regretted saying that.
Yeah. It's really good. It's a really good card.
Hazoret or Katara?
Both. All right. So Magda is here for ramp reasons. Also, you can sacrifice 5 treasures. If you get to that point, there's no other treasure support, so it's very rare that it actually happens.
Is there a dragon?
No, there's no dragons. There's only sick artifacts. And then Metastatic Evangel. This is an underrated card we've talked about in the past in relation to Teom. And whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, proliferate. Proliferation is a really strong effect when you're talking about experience counters, when you're talking about like +1/+1 counters that Kratos can put on creatures. So in regards to proliferation and how this deck functions with Metastatic Evangel, that's awesome, right? It helps you get where you need to go. So it also makes Katara, Zuko stronger, Aang stronger. And then in that same vein, we have Patrolling Peacemaker. Now, Patrolling Peacemaker is a 3 mana, 2 in a white robot soldier from that space set that everyone has already forgotten about. What's that one called again?
Edging of...
Oh, yeah, the Edge thing.
Edging to Eternity, yep.
Yep, Edging for Eternity, that set.
Edging for Eternity.
Okay.
That one.
Hedging for Eternity says whenever an opponent commits a crime. Patrolling Peacemaker says whenever an opponent commits a crime, proliferate. It enters with 2+1/+1 counters on it. So it can get huge. It can definitely make some peace. And then also gets larger the more your opponents target your things. So it's somewhat of protection, or it's at least insurance for when your things get wiped.
This card is underplayed. I've seen this card pop off twice, and it was the only 2 times I've seen it played, and both times it was gnarly. Because the card in of itself isn't as much of a threat, but the payoff is insane, and it triggers so much more in a 4-player game than you would think it does. And you think it triggers a lot. It's very frequent.
Yeah, it's committing any crime, not just targeting your stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. I love the card. I thought that at launch, a lot of people were putting it into Teon lists just because of the hype built around it, but it does justify its own existence, because committing a crime is, it encompasses so much. If you're unfamiliar, an opponent commits a crime if they target an opponent. So it doesn't even have to be you, or they can target any of each other opponent, anything on an opponent controls and or cards in an opponent's graveyard. To proliferate, you choose any number of so you can be selective with it, but committing a crime actually encompasses a lot of game actions. So I think it's excellent. It does a lot, and I think you're going to get way more proliferation triggers than you know what to do with, as long as this stays on the battlefield. It doesn't eat removal, and that's the thing. It also, when it eats the removal, triggers, gives you, it proliferates.
Yep.
So another
guaranteed minimum 1.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah. So Patrolling Peacemaker, and another card that proliferates in this deck all the way down in the mana rocks is Staff of Completion. Now, these are 2 cards that I want to highlight for separate reasons. One, because they proliferate. Staff of Completion is super underplayed. 3 mana, tap, pay 1 life, destroy target permanent you own. Can be relevant if someone's swordsing a creature you want. You need it in the graveyard. Can do many things. Tap, pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. Tap, pay 3 life, proliferate, tap, pay 4 life, draw a card, and pay 5 mana, untap Staff of Completion. So it can, be a mana sink if you're somehow able to generate infinite mana. It doesn't do a lot because you don't have infinite life, but the thing is that it does so much just through 1 activation every turn. That's relevant. It's very flexible. But if you go and you look at the standard print, it is $1.43. Is a mythic from All Will Be One, and I'm honestly shocked that it is so cheap and so underplayed. That and Patrolling Peacemaker, which if you look is $1.57. It's insane how cheap these cards are. Metastatic Evangel, 40 cents. These are cards that all in white or colorless pop off just with you sneeze at it.
How much is the elevator at now? It's like $5.
Eternity Elevator is $3.41 for the borderless, but let's look at the cheapest version.
Yeah, it's $1.
$1.52.
It's a good card too.
All right. If we were to make a section in this show about targeting cards in the market, these cards, the Eternity Elevator, Staff of Completion, Metastatic Evangel, Patrolling Peacemaker, these are all cards that I would be looking at. And yes, they're easy to reprint. Some are.
Final Showdown too. I know it's up now. It's like $10, but it's only going to continue to be a staple.
Yeah, this is such a good card. Final Showdown's amazing.
Print that.
No. The spree cards, these are like those little mechanics from, different sets that I was talking about, where they're little mini games or whatever, printed rules text that they have a tough time reprinting. Double-sided cards also have a tough time reprinting. Yeah. So if you are looking to build a deck, take advantage of how cheap these cards are right now, because they're really good. They're really good. I'm using them to prop up Kratos and Atreus, which aren't inherently broken. Also, Nexus of Becoming. If you guys have never seen this card played or have never played it before, it's $1.13.
I was going to say this and I assumed it had spiked, but yeah, no, this is the top of the cards we've mentioned. This card I would get behind the most. In Shiko, I've killed the table the turn I've played this card half of the times I've played this card. You draw a card, discard a card. You can create a 3/3 golem of artifact or creature from your hand, which can be a Chroma's Memorial. By the way, the ceiling for this card is crazy. I mean, you can potentially cheat. It's like sneak and show, but it stays out and it turns it into an artifact if it's not. And if it is, it turns it into a creature, which is incredibly the utility of also getting to draw and like just even having a loot effect in colorless. And it's not even that expensive. I mean, 6 mana is like very doable in colorless.
The thing is, it's not even a loot. You just draw a card straight up. You draw a card.
I thought you discarded too.
And then you may exile a card from your hand and create a copy of it, artifact or creature. So the ceiling with this is really high. I really love it. It's why I kept it in the deck. This deck, actually, the basis for it, the mana base and everything like that was from Shiko, since it was Jeskai. So
makes sense.
It's going to feel and play a lot like that. Now, gods are the important part of the deck. How do we support Kratos and Atreus? How do we continue to get experience counters? And while we do have this awesome stuff from Avatar: The Last Airbender, we still need gods that are out here that are able to be killed or able to be sacrificed or able to be attackers and pressure our opponent's life totals. So Heliod, obviously in combination with Ballista, hardly ever will it ever become a creature. We have Kefnet, the Mindful, 2 and a blue. This is one of the gods that is lowest to the ground alongside Bergi. Bergi just helps shorten so many lines. Like, it's one of the best gods I think ever made, and it dies easily. Yeah. So, hey, good stuff. Kefnet, the Mindful, though, I think just being indestructible, there are additional things in the deck that I will go through here in just a second that help promote this concept of killing gods. How do we kill gods with our own game plan? We have Kratos, God of War, another 3 mana, but this one's the 3 red one. This is the expensive one, $53 at the moment. Oh boy, is right. It's double strike. All creatures have haste, which is very important for Kratos because you want the attack, to get an experience counter. At the beginning of each player's end step, Kratos deals damage to that player equal to the number of creatures that player controls that didn't attack this turn. So
that guy does not want to see Darian at the table.
No.
He does not. He does not want to play against Darian.
It's a really good card. I think it's stronger than.
It's Angel's Trumpet, right? This is just Angel's. This is like Angel's Trumpet with less steps.
Is that the card? Is that
from ways back? But yeah,
I
remember Angel's Trumpet was a fun card. It's worded crazy because it's
Yep. Yeah, it's very similar to Angel's Trumpet. Yes, like Kratos, God of War, and then we have Ifara, God of the Polis. This allows you to draw cards. We have Freya from the Secret Lair drop itself. This is Iroas, God of Victory. We have Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, to return enchantments, and then also transform to give everything flash. And then spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. So play on other people's turns. They start drawing cards. Everything just becomes so much cheaper. This is a land pass. You have this on the battlefield. Land pass.
I love this card because it changes the play style of the deck in the late game. Changing the play style of your deck late game to adapt to a game that's going longer than maybe you had originally intended is something very few cards can really do. And this card can do it in of itself, which I think is really special. I've had a lot of really fun stack interactions playing against and stealing this card on the battlefield. So this is the card I suggested over Hazoret.
Yeah, so maybe we'll cut Hazoret. I don't know. This does seem like it has more upside. There, I admitted it. We have Perforos, God of the Forge, additional damage, stunt double, just the best clone to ever exist. I'm sorry, out there, people with other opinions, I'm not open to them.
It is the best.
Yeah, it's really good. Thassa Deep Dwelling, this allows you to continue to get ETB effects, and then there's some other additional benefits. You can also pay for it to tap another creature, which may come in handy. Who knows? It's a pseudo Hazoret effect. to make something unblockable. But you could do it with Hazaret for just 1 mana, or you could do it with 4 mana.
For any creature.
With Thassa.
And it's not unblockable. It's tapping any creature.
But it's a pseudo effect. Anyway, God Eternal Oketra, zombie god that wants to die. Here's the thing. God Eternal Oketra dies, put it into exile or put into exile from the battlefield. You may put it in the owner's library, 3rd from the top. Has a very similar effect to this Locust God, which when it dies, you return it to the owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. So these are recurable. Locust God can get exiled, unfortunately, but when they die, they do have staying power. They do come back in a particular fashion. They have their own ways. Kratos, God of Storms. This is actually the original god that I thought would work best with the deck. It's 3 blue and a red, indestructible 6/5. Reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Card advantage is super important. Whenever you reveal a land card you draw this way, you draw an additional card. When you reveal a non-land card this way, Kratos deals 3 damage to any target. So removal, card advantage, all nice things.
Coming out of Theros, this was the first god that I saw a lot of people build. The gods were immediately very interesting for, commander brewers. This was the one that I saw at my LGS, at least back home, was built around a lot. And it was actually really fun to play and really fun to play against. It's very fair. It's a very fair card, very straightforward card, very fun card. And it's, it's reasonable. It's reasonable, but it provides great upside.
Yeah. And then it's just in its evasion. Like this is probably the easiest one to activate or get online. Like red is more prevalent in the deck than a lot of other things.
And blue. Yeah.
And blue. White, like I don't think Heliod is ever, like Suncrown is ever going to be a creature, but some of these other ones have a chance.
Yeah.
Then we have Surtur, Fiery Jotun. This is from the Assassin's Creed, which I had no idea that they had Norse gods in Assassin's Creed. Do any of us play Assassin's Creed?
There's the one Assassin's Creed game that's based in Norse mythology.
And that's where this is from?
I think so.
So they decided to make...
Because there's the Greek one. There's the Greek Assassin's Creed.
But there's God of War. Is there? I don't know. Never mind.
No, I'm saying there is. They've gone there.
They've gone there. They've done the things. So they created this giant god warrior. It's a 5/5 trample. It says whenever you cast a historic spell, Surtur deals 3 damage to any target. This is the one from EDH Rec that I actually took, which I'm thinking about cutting it in favor of Hazaret. But it's pretty good. Like to be able to dish out 3 damage anywhere, it seems like a good effect.
I've seen this spike recently, price-wise, and I don't know how or why. What's pushing that? This was never a $12 card. What is your reason for playing it? Just incidental damage?
Yeah, like the gods are all historic. Like I have plenty of like density for historic spells since most everything is, historic is actually another one of those things like crimes. I feel like it just has a wide breadth of like what it encapsulates. So you have like Patrolling Peacemaker is a historic spell because it's an artifact. Why? Why does that work? Phyrexian Metamorph, technically historic.
Everything's historic except for like Displacer Kitten, Dualcaster Mage,
Silent Hall Creeper,
which can become historic once it's on the battlefield.
Yeah. So kind of weird, but yeah, it captures a lot. And then there's a lot of artifacts in the deck as well. So I guess there's density for this effect that to make it valuable. I don't know why it's $12 though. I don't know.
I think it's because I think this happens a lot with the precons, like where they print cards outside, like for the Assassin's Creed precons. There's a couple of those commanders, obviously, like the free running one that attracts a lot, and then they end up making some of these with keyword archetypes like God and Warrior. I think Warrior is also a big keyword here. I think there's a few decks that really, really like this card because they run a lot of legendary Mardu warriors. Yeah. And, triggering that non-combat damage is really important in those decks.
Sure. Yeah, there in EDH Rec, they also recommend you run O'Hare Ashanil which is helps you magnify the amount of damage that you're doing from any given time. Kratos can put counters on it, and then whenever you activate Atreus, instead of 2 damage, it deals, much more. I'm one to stand against the flow of traffic here. Like, I understand that effect and what it can do is powerful. It also has its own way to recur itself, like becoming a land and then having the activated ability to be able to come back. Maybe that becomes an option, cutting like Displacer Kitten or something, since that's not like a combo engine.
I also think Displacer Kitten is one of those cards that just immediately attracts disrespect at the table. I think as soon as you show that you're playing Displacer Kitten, even if you don't have a line, it's just a card that
you're a tryhard, you're a sweat.
Yeah. I mean, like, there is really no downside. It's an insane card. It's just a ridiculous card. It shouldn't exist, but it does, and because it does, it's got to be played like in most blue shells. So
yeah, maybe O'Hare Ashenil takes that spot.
Yeah, that turns this deck into a much more even-keeled 3, a much more fair 3. Because I'm also looking at I'm always looking for the upside. Like, what's the best lines? Displacer Kitten here. I mean,
there are literally, like, there is 1 or 2 lines. Like, it's like,
I say cut it. It's not worth having. You play it, you're gonna die.
People target me.
It's like violating the Geneva Convention. Like, you play a Displacer Kitten, the table just hates you now.
Right.
You can't get that back.
There's no ETB.
You're playing cool cards. You're playing like heady gods. You're playing gods that people haven't gotten to play against yet, or haven't played against very much. That'll earn you some respect at the table. Maybe not Hazoret because it's a bad card, but like the other cards will.
What are you talking about?
And when you have that kind of a deck, it's really nice to lean into that.
Get this guy off the show. What is he talking about? Hazoret not being good.
I'm just saying. Actually, no. Hazoret would earn you respect because people don't see it play.
No one sees it.
That does belabor my point a little bit. But still, I think you should cut it because it's not great. Yeah.
So Temple of Power is the flip side of O'Hare Ashenil. It says pay 2 and a red, transform Temple of Power back into O'Hare Ashenil. Activate only if red sources you control dealt 4 or more non-combat damage this turn, and activate only as a sorcery. So you do have some of the pieces around it to make that happen, but it's be incredibly difficult. But it does have some sort of recursion, and it becomes a land. So it's in now. Displacer Kitten is out. You're right. Displacer Kitten would attract too much attention.
Also, like, I feel like your games are going to be kind of peaking around turn 6, 7 in this deck, and that was unintentional. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
But that around those 2 turns, you kind of need to have a little bit of a political presence at the table by turn 4 or 5 in order to facilitate those big explosive late game turns. And yeah, if you drop something like that on curve on turn 4, you are cooked.
Yeah, right. All right, we're just going to skip right through the sorceries. They're pretty generic. They're pretty, they do whatever. Molten Duplication and Dualcaster. I usually play Dualcaster just for copying interaction. Yep. Like said, I can protect, like copy a counter spell to protect myself. Instance, Standard Fare, few counter spells. Another card that is super slept on, Heliod's Intervention.
Card is ridiculous.
Yep. Really good. And then we have artifacts. This is where I want to take a step in. I am completely diving into Soul Ring and Arcane Signet because in Jeskai, it's really hard to get to, it's not hard to get 3 mana, but it actually is kind of hard to get to 4 mana and then continue making significant or maintaining board presence, without, with your gods. You need to be able to get to 4 mana, 5 mana, 6 mana. So that's why the Soul Ring and Arcane Signet are here, especially with a strategy that's not terribly powerful in general. Collector's Cage. This is a really great card.
The big score and its effects.
Yes. The Collector's Cage, it's obviously probably too slow for Teom since it doesn't sacrifice itself or anything like that. But you get to Hideaway 5, and then as long as you pay 1 tap, put a +1/+1 counter on something, and if you have 3 creatures with different power after that ability resolves, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So you get hopefully something big out of it. You get to dig for 5 which I think is really good. It's really good in standard. I really like making standard cards good in Commander. It's my thing.
I think this works really well in your deck because the gods all have really weird powers and toughnesses. And if you look at 5 cards, you're going to see one god, and most of them cost about 4 or 5 mana.
Yeah.
So, at worst, you're spending 2 mana and probably more than reliably getting a counter on some of your indestructible creatures.
It's also instant speed. So
Yes.
like that's another thing. You can actually tuck a counter spell under here,
Yeah.
which is like funny. They know nobody does that in standard.
No, I probably wouldn't do it here either.
No. Stupid idea.
I do like how like hideaway cards can come down and then be used that the turn they're there. Like most, you think hideaway cards, you think the lands in or tapped, you can't use them right away and they need some setup. This can be reasonably done the turn it comes down.
Yeah.
Or within that first turn rotation, right? Like on another player's turn, which is even better.
Yeah. Pseudo haste.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we go through the artifacts, Ruby Medallion, cut the costs, Talisman of Creativity, you need Ramp, Felwar Stone, Cursed Mirror. If you missed our copy episode, this is one of the best clones, I think, for in my playstyle, so I include it. Relic of Legends. This takes advantage of things that can't tap. There's a lot of legendary creatures like in this deck, so if you need to get to that next play, Hazaret Godseeker can tap for mana. Staff of Completion, Sword of Truth and Justice, Proliferation. We talked about this before. This is gonna also help you get through with Kratos. I really like the card. I think it's great. Maskwood Nexus and Leyline of Transformation. Now, Rampage, you said you would not be my friend anymore if I didn't put Leyline of Transformation in this deck, if I'm reading the receipts correctly.
That is true. I'm going to hold you to that. Yep.
Like, yeah, you have the ability, ley lines, and they all have this text, but they can start on the battlefield if you have them in your opening hand. So pregame action, and then you name God, and then all of a sudden everything is a god, which is relevant when it comes down to Kratos' ability. That's the same deal with Maskwood Nexus. 2 Nexuses. I think I have to cut one. It's going to get confusing.
No, one has Nexus in the front, one has Nexus in the back. You can distinguish.
It's a mullet of Nexuses.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have
when I proposed that you need some more artifact tutors, what I wanted you to go get was Maskwood Nexus. I just feel like it's a strong include for the deck. I do want to bring up the point just to make sure we recognize your cool deck building prowess on display here. Minimal amount of changelings. The only thing with changeling on it is this Maskwood Nexus. Everything, like, there's so many other changelings you could have put in the deck just to have gods on repeat. And not doing that is a choice, and I think a cool one.
Yeah, Mirror Entity is like a low-hanging fruit that has a lot of like, oh, you want all your gods to die? 0 mana, kill them all, get all the experience counters, right? And then you can sort of explode after that. But I just like changelings don't do it for me, like really ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
never.
A lot of time they're boring. And like that play that you just described sounds really boring.
Oh, yeah.
In comparison to what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Maskwood Nexus is awesome because it turns all of your spells into gods as well. So triggering an enchantment that I love but have never really had the opportunity to play. Reflections of Littjara. This came out and I think got a little bit of was exciting for like 5 minutes.
It was really high. Wasn't it like $15 for a second?
Oh, everyone wanted to play it.
Yeah. It's 5 mana. It's 5 mana. Kindred Discovery exists. So like this is just a worse one.
Yeah, because it didn't draw you cards.
Yeah. I mean, people wanted to make it work. I've obviously it has its place, its home in like a few decks, mostly like really degenerate copy decks, but
Orvar type nonsense.
Yeah, not right? This Orvar.
Yeah. But here you name God, and then here is the cool thing about it is that you name God, you cast the god. Well, gods are legendary.
Oh no, that seems not good. All your legendary gods are going to die. Why would you put this in this deck?
Oh, well, Kratos says whenever a god dies. So yeah, you would have Kratos on the board, Reflection of Littlejaw, name God, or have it out before you cast Kratos and then name God. And then, well, you cast Kratos, you get the copy first, you have Kratos enter. After Kratos enters, you sack the copy, you actually get 2 experience counters off the whole exchange, and you get to keep your original Kratos. Or you can just, keep the token copy, send Kratos back to the command zone, and then later cast it again, get another copy, get another Kratos, and then keep stacking on the experience counters once you generate enough mana. So I think that Reflection of Littlejaw allows you some versatility with your commanders so that you can cast them, get the 2 copies, get the triggers for Kratos, and then keep the token or keep the original and magnify the strategy in that way. And also with all of your enchantment-based gods, also with your God Eternal Oketra, that when it dies, that it goes to the 3rd from the top. So not only do you get to continue recasting the God Eternal Oketra, but then you also get to continue recasting things like the Locust God. So you get to cast the Locust God, get the copy, it enters, Locust God enters, you sacrifice it immediately, end step comes back to your hand, next turn you have another Locust God. So another copy of one. And you get to continue sort of like banking on those copies to trigger Kratos' experience counter ability. That's why I think Reflections of Littlejaw, if you're not playing this in Kratos, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Playing Mirror Box.
Yeah, probably playing Mirror Box. Something like that. But yeah, you just get a lot of things. Sometimes it doesn't work so well with the Theros gods because they'll enter it as non-creatures and then you just got to sack one anyway.
Yeah.
So whatever. All right. The last enchantment I want to talk about, we have things like Inexorable Tide because we want to, whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. Amphibian Downpour is one of the best pieces of removal of all time.
It's nuts.
Durable with Invasion of Theros.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. That's good.
Authority of the Consuls, gain life, creatures enter, tapped, gain some, yeah.
You're a slower deck. You want to have some protection. Authority of the Consuls gives you about a turn and a half buffer to your game clock.
Yep, I think people undervalue Hasting Commander, and so like to be able to slow people down even more with their creatures for 1 mana is seemingly good. Kindred Discovery, card draw. Nahiri's Resolve is a card that is on the chopping block. I think I can find a better version of it, but it is good. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have haste. Beginning your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts and or creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of your next upkeep. So it has a delayed trigger, so you get the trigger, exile a bunch of things. They stay safe until your following turn, and then if anyone removes it, you still get the delayed trigger and they still get to come back. So they don't just go away forever.
It's a fun card. I think Boros really likes this card, but often can't quite get to it at 5 mana. I think it is a great payoff. I'd like to see it work here. I'd like to see if it can work here first before you cut it.
Dusty Parlor and Secret Arcade. Now, this is the card I really want to talk about. This is a card that I like. I really like enchantments. Obviously, I am Menace. But for 2 and a white on the right side, you unlock the room. It says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the spell's mana value on up to 1 target creature. And then it has 4 and a white. Non-land permanents you control and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to their other types. So there's a huge ceiling here because one of my 3 game changers is Sarah's Sanctum. It's a good card. I like it a lot. Okay. Get off my back.
No one's on your back. It's a great card.
Yeah. Secret Arcade, turning everything into enchantments allows you to buff up on your Sarah's Sanctum. And then Dusty Parlor, every time you cast that, you're exploding. Everything gets so much bigger, so much faster. And it helps you close out games. Yeah. If no one really has the ability to interact with you, it helps you close it out.
Most of your spells will trigger this too, because the overwhelming majority of your spells are permanents in this deck. So.
Yes. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm hoping that really pops off. But at the same time, this card's 38 cents. It's 38 cents. It should not be 38 cents. I'm sorry. You should be playing more enchantments in your deck so you can continue to put a metric boatload of +1/+1 counters.
What was the card
on creatures
comparing it to earlier?
Oh, yes. So there is one other card in Magic's history that sort of like mirrors this effect, but it has a much more malicious upside to it, and that is Enchanted Evening. So if you guys have never played against an Enchanted Evening deck, well, it's 3 and 2 hybrid Azorius mana that says all permanents or enchantments into their in addition to their other types. So also super sick artwork by Rebecca Guay.
Yeah, incredible artwork. This is the artworks that got me into Magic. The Shadowmoor and Lorwyn, Morningtide, just amazing.
I can't remember what the card was. Rampage, what's the card that steals all enchantments?
Or a Thief.
Or a Thief?
Yeah, or a Thief. So in conjunction with Enchanted Evening, you play Aura Thief, 3 and a blue. When it's put into a graveyard from play, you gain control of all enchantments. So, there's some pretty nasty things you can do with Enchanted Evening. Not so much with the Dusty Arcade or the Secret Arcade and Dusty Parlor. But if you really wanted to, and it doesn't make the spells you cast enchantments, it just makes the things on the battlefield enchantments.
Yeah.
So that makes all lands enchantments as well. So your Serra Sanctum gets crazy.
It says permanent spells you control. It does get Dusty Parlor.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That I was saying Enchanted Evening doesn't.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about the other card.
And now, as far as lands go with this deck, I put Morgana Raceway in here for obvious reasons. And then we have Tyrite Sanctum, which is actually really good. It's pay 2, tap, legendary creature becomes a god in addition to its other types, put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then you can pay 4, tap it, sacrifice it, put an indestructible counter on target god. So another way to boost Kratos late in the game if you so wish to do so. Any questions? Any questions, fellas, on Kratos? It seems like a fun 3.
Sir, I have one.
Yes.
Can you walk me through 3 steps ahead?
Oh yeah, this is a
instant.
Yeah, this is a remnant from Shiko for sure. But this is So 3 steps ahead is a card that saw a lot of play on release and standard, and for one blue to get off the ground, and then you can pay an additional 1 and a blue to counter target spell. You can pay an additional 3, so blue and 3 colorless. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control, or you can pay 2 in a blue to draw 2 cards and discard a card. You can also stack it so you can spend 8 mana to do all 3 of those things. So I think the ceiling on it is really high when you're land passing and you sort of have the game under control. It's also just another really great way to get a god death trigger out of something where you can create a token copy, and then Kratos helps push the boundaries, like get an additional +1/+1 counter on things, get an additional experience counter. It also helps in ways that I can't explain right now.
And then my last note for the deck list was the Saheeli, the Sun's Brilliance.
Oh,
very cool include.
Yes, this is another remnant of Shiko. Actually, when I was tearing the deck apart and sort of putting the gods and stuff, this never got cut because I kept reading the effect. And I was like, holy crap, this works. It's a mythic. This is a mythic from Lost Caverns of Ixalan, right? It's 59 cents for a blue and a red. You get a legendary human artificer, 2/2, that says you can pay a blue and a red, tap it, create a token. That's a copy of another target creature or artifact you control, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types, gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So you can copy Hazaret and get a sacrifice trigger and get an experience counter. You can copy a few other
thing you can do with Hazaret.
But you can copy something like Nexus of Becoming.
Yeah.
And for the turn, get 2 cards that turn. You can copy your Eternity Elevator. I don't know. You can copy Yeah, you're right. It's legendary. Never mind. You can copy Ruby Medallion, get cost reduction throughout the course of your turn. You can copy a Cursed Mirror to get an additional copy of something else. It copies so many things. Its versatility, if you are in red and blue, in a control shell or in a game plan that moves a little bit slower, I think this is maybe. I'm going to say it. It's because it doesn't combo with anything. I think this is better for you than something like Kiki Jiki. But in this type of game plan. Because Kiki Jiki can't target It can't target legendary things.
Yeah.
So this
Other
can.
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I would agree that this is better, and it. Yeah, I mean it also it still sacrifices, so you still get the death triggers from things, and because it's an artifact, it's going to trigger a lot more. I think it is a more wide wide targets than Kiki.
Yeah, I'm
not partial to Kiki, but I understand the argument.
Yeah, it's not limited to sorcery speed either, so it's an instant speed activation. So even if you are in dire straits, right, you can actually hold this up with a little bit of open mana after you've played your dual caster and get an additional dual caster off of it. So there is interaction that you're sort of hiding at the table. It would be obvious to the experienced player, but like if you're sitting there and you're like, I have interaction, they haven't seemed to notice, they haven't targeted the dual caster, they haven't targeted Saheeli, I can make something happen here. Also on your upkeep or on your opponent's upkeep, create a copy of an Esper Sentinel. See if they, like really taunt them into casting their non-creature spells. See if you can get some more card draw off of it. I think there's a lot of really cool things to be done with Saheeli that are still being discovered because I feel like nobody knows this card exists. Like,
yeah,
it's good. It's a good card.
Yeah, I guarantee when I'm trying to figure out my plan for my turn, no shot am I thinking about this sitting on your board with, all the options of the things you can do with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the ceiling is really high. So you can also create a copy of whatever stunt double copies too. So sick stuff. Really sick stuff from Saheeli here. Also potential upside with Hafara because it's instant speed. You can activate on somebody else's turn, and then Hafara would trigger, and you draw an additional card. So the flexibility. You see all the options. All right. Well, if you are out there and you have purchased the PlayStation Secret Lair for Norse God of War, this episode, it's your jam. This is your jam, man. Like, you're going to love this episode. You're going to love it so much, you're probably going to hit that subscribe button at the bottom. You're probably going to like it. You're going to like the video a lot. You're probably going to leave a comment. And you're probably going to jump out and support us on all podcasting platforms and make us look super duper cool. You're probably going to want to jump on and become a Pepperhead and support us on Patreon for $3 a month. For $3 a month, you can become an official Pepperhead, support the show like Gabe, Backoyan, definitely Jeremy, Mono Greg, Reven Lift, UWP Court, Will Rule, Pool Boy Barry, maybe Anthony, Ryan G, and Adam. Thank you all for your support, and thank you, future listener, to your future support. You can also join our Discord server where you can like all the stuff that we're saying in there. Sweet recovery, menace. And and join the discussion. Drop your deck list in there. If you are looking for some creative builds, we're here for that. We're constantly here for that. We're also hosting Wednesday Webcam Wizardry. So if you'd like to jump in and you'd like to play with the MoxStars, you can jump in on the Discord server every Wednesday. We host games. We also have a theme going with every single week. So build yourself a deck. Actually, Rampage, could you give us a laydown of what Wednesday Webcam Wizardry has transformed into? We're now 6 weeks deep onto it. You can earn pepper points, redeem them for merch, tokens, things like that. But yeah, where are we at?
This week we realized that Magic is more than what we talked about today. It's not just, this card is really good in this deck because I can edge this piece of advantage that other people's can't capitalize on. It's also about the gathering, and with the gathering comes expression. So for this week's Webcam Wizardry, what we challenged our players to do was play with the art styles that evoke the theme of the deck. So I want to see the good thematic choices made for art. So previously, we've used airbending mechanics. We've used the potential hybrid mana theory for commander deck building restrictions. This week, we are focused on art. So if you can match all of the art styles that are from the same artist as your commander, that's really cool. Or pick your favorite artist if that's not the case, but show us what arts you think are cool. As I sit here looking at Menace's deck list with the Faithless Looting from Strixhaven. I don't know. Is that worth negative pepper points in that instance?
It's the best artwork that's ever been made. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, come join. We're at Jamming Games. We're looking for more people to join our league, earn some points, and you can get some cool tokens.
Yeah, speaking of the best artworks ever made, we have 7 tokens now available. We have the Treasure, the Copy, the Construct, the Goblin, which is new. We have the Snake, the Thrall, and also the Monarch. If you are a big Monarch player, obviously these are the best artworks, the coolest tokens. We're working on a few more. The Zombie was just announced last week. We're getting those into production. We'll have those in our hands soon. So images of those should have popped on screen as I rattled them off. Look at those images. All right. This has been the MoxStars podcast. Let's get a sign off from Annihilator.
Peace.